Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be for you. This is Dr. Perry Barnhill with the Fearless Chiropractor. I want to give a big thanks to ChiroSecure for bringing all this great HIPAA information to you. Start slideshow, please. Okay, so let's get going here. Why do we teach HIPAA? A lot of the chiropractors out there, just like us, ask, why in the world are you teaching HIPAA? Well, because one, we want to protect, educate, two, educate, and three, defend you just in case something happens. But even more importantly, for today's short show, I want to bring to your attention some things that will help protect you in the sense that if you know what it is, protected health information, that is, which we'll get into the details, if you know exactly what constitutes protected health information, then you're much less likely to divulge it in situations that you're not supposed to. Because if we release protected health information when we're not supposed to, this can potentially get us in big trouble. So, Dr. Julie and I, chiropractors for a long time, we're both certified in compliance, we're certified in HIPAA. And so we can kind of see both sides of the coin here. What I mean by that is, being chiropractors, we know what it's like to be a chiropractor, but also we know what it's like and what the auditors are thinking. So we try to bring this to you through both sets of lenses. One, as a practicing chiropractors, and two, as auditors who look at these things from their perspective. Let's talk about this 18 types of protected health information. And sometimes you may see it as EPHI. And all that means is electronic health protected information, things that's stored electronically. So believe it or not, there are 18 different types of protected health information. We want to just give you a little quiz here. So just think for a moment. What is it that you believe is or are protected health information? I'll give you just a hint, just to kind of start off with. Most of us realize that the name of our patients is considered protected health information. But did you realize that there's actually 17 other identifiers that could be considered or are considered protected health information? So for a sec, just think of a few others. Okay, let's get into this. Let's get into the details of exactly what they are. I'm going to go through these, and I am going to go ahead and read these because we might talk a little bit more about some of them. But of course, like the very first one that I said, the name of your patient or the individual. All of us know this in our offices. We know that the names of our patients or the children of our patients, that's protected health information. We know that we can't be talking about these things in certain situations because if we do, that could mean that there's a breach. This is what we don't want. And this is why we are talking about all these different types of PHI. If you know what they are, you're much less likely to say those in situations that will get you potentially in trouble. Address, yeah, believe it or not, the address, anything smaller than the state of residence. I mean, so just the fact Washington State or California, Ohio, whatever it may be, that in itself. But if it's their address, that's a problem. Any dates. And some of these, even for myself, being an expert in HIPAA, are surprising. This date, the date of their identity identifies their onset date, admission, discharge date, birth date. We know that one, of course. Even if someone has passed away, their death date. Telephone numbers, that can be considered PHI, even their fax numbers, their email addresses. So when I'm talking about PHI, this is what I'm saying is don't let these things go. Don't let anybody who shouldn't know about one of your patients' email address, fax number, telephone number, keep it protected. Social security number, we all know that one. That's pretty obvious. Their medical record numbers, that's sometimes obvious as well. Health insurance plan beneficiary numbers, on their insurance cards. So be very careful there. Account numbers, certificate or license number. Even I was surprised. I mean, obviously their driver license, because it has their picture on it, but even their driver's license number, all these little tiny things, CPR certification number, passports, VIN numbers. I was really surprised about this one, but their VIN number, even their license plates number. This is why this one's really important. Some of you, if you're doing patient testimonials or you're walking around the office and you happen to get one of your patient's car in the screen or on the video, be very careful about that because people can look up license plate numbers and identify that with the patient and then link it to your office. So be very careful. Device identifiers or serial numbers on medical devices used in your treatments or during procedures. Web universal resources, URLs, internet protocol or IP addresses. Yep, that one too, because these can be tracked to your location, so they could link it up to the patient, find out who it is, that they're in their office. Biometric identifiers, facial recognition, fingerprint scans, tattoos, etc. And again, if we're doing anything, even back to the patient testimonials where they're on their videos or they're saying something, you need to make sure you have authorization from your patients to do so. Full face photo. Yeah, even just their photo. Even if you don't link their names to their photos, because people can find these things out, or any other uniquely identifying numbers, characteristics, or codes. Make sure you talk to your staff about this. Make sure they are aware of there's so many things that we have no clue about that could potentially identify one of your patients. And if that happens, and if things get breached because you let that information out, you can face some consequences from HIPAA that we don't want. So, speaking of training the staff, we always suggest, we know that required ongoing training is mandatory with HIPAA. In fact, it's a law. So we always suggest, Dr. Julie and I, you do at least a monthly HIPAA training. This could be one of your monthly HIPAA trainings. So here's a QR code here. You can download this list on the right-hand side that states all of the 18 unique identifiers, and sit down and train your staff and discuss these things. And then you document it. Obviously, just like anything else, if it's not documented, it didn't actually happen. So make sure when you sit down and you train your staff, or maybe you're a solo practitioner, you train yourself, right? You watched a video, state what you did, put this form in there, have staff sign off on it, that they understand what these unique identifiers are, and that you spoke to them and said, listen, don't be divulging this information in a public setting or in a setting such that someone's going to hear this or have ears on them that are not supposed to have ears or eyes on them, because it could be considered a breach. Okay, so if you want to schedule a demo with our HIPAA program, if you want to check it out, we're more than happy to get online with you. Just go to the demo here. You can schedule it right there. go.fearlessprovider.com/demo. You can scan the QR code. That's pretty easy. It's a safe code there. If you want to just get started with HIPAA program, betterhippablueprint.com. Don't forget how to spell HIPAA. That's 2 A's, not 2 P's. Or I'm always more than happy, myself and Dr. Julie are more than happy to sit down with you, have a conversation with you. You can contact me, Dr. Perry, at betterhippablueprint.com. If you have any questions, that's how you get a hold of us. Also, lastly, I want to give another shout out to ChiroSecure for hosting this webinar and these series of HIPAA demonstrations. And in the meantime, everybody have an amazing day.